I'm Kat. I am the second affirmative speaker. And so, like Jackie said, our claims are that the Chsee does not hinder graduation rates for private or public schools. The Chsee is not detrimental to special education students taking the test. The Chsee is adjusted to the California curriculum and then the Chsee helped close the achievement gap for minorities. And so backing up her claims, overall the Chsee is an exit exam that encourages students to work harder and encourage students to review the curriculum that they're learning in their day-to-day classes. The Chsee measures what we are learning or what you are learning and have already been taught in the classroom. More than any other preparation, attending your classes, paying attention in class, and doing your homework will help you pass the Chsee. Leo Furman states that the report concluded that a higher rate of high school students are enrolling in advanced math courses, including geometry, intermediate algebra, and calculus, as a result of the exit exam's focus on algebra proficiency. So overall, students that are supposed to be taking the Chsee exam, they're taking harder classes, which is like benefiting their education, because they want to like pass this high school enrollment exam to make sure that they like get on that next level and can get out of high school to attend college if that's the route that they take. Leo Furman also states that supporters of the exit exam say the exam has raised the bar for graduation by encouraging students to work harder and pressured schools to increase their efforts to close the achievement gap. John Bishop states that 58% of employers say that a high school diploma is no guarantee that the typical student has learned the basics. So with the Chsee exam, like John is saying, that students who are graduating high school without this test, there's no guarantee that they're ready for like their college life, or if that's not the route they decide to take, then just going into like the work field. So with this test, it will definitely benefit them, knowing that they knew what they were supposed to like learn during their high school times. Chsee has helped identify areas of disparities and address areas of concern. In 2006, about 86% of low-income students, 73% English learners, 85% of Latino students, and 84% of Black students passed by the end of their senior year. By 2014, about 94% of low-income students, 82% English learners, and 94% of Latinos, and 92% of Black students passed. Coming from Leo Furman again. John Bishop lastly states that analyzing the data on graduates, Bishop and Maine found that the high school graduates coming from high schools with the Chsee graduation requirement were significantly more likely to be in college during a 4-year period immediately following high school graduation. So with this test, it is encouraging students to attend universities and go into the work field and furthermore. As my opponent had said, about the disabilities for these students, students are allowed to be taking this test more than once. You get up to 7. You can have 1, 3, 7 chances on this test. It's not, if you don't pass, you're done. Sorry. And with that, tutoring sessions are allowed for these students who are feeling they're not prepared for this test, or they're not like feeling that they are going to pass. So teachers are staying after school hours 3 months before the test that are allowing them the extra time to prepare for this. All California public schools, students except eligible students with disabilities were required satisfy the Chsee requirement as well as all other state and local requirements in order to receive a high school diploma. The Chsee requirement could be satisfied by passing the exemption or for eligible students with disabilities meeting the exemption requirement pursued for the California education. And lastly, my opponent states that Indiana, he states that the price for their test is very pricey, but that's irrelevant because we're talking about California, not Indiana. And the cost for Chsee would only be $3 per student. It would so each student would come and pay $3, while the SAT and ACT are college tests, or tests that are required you to go into college, which we're not talking about tests that are going to college, just tests that are like making you, or requiring you to get out of high school. And the costs for the SAT and ACT were $45 for the ACT, and it was $47.50 for the SAT. So overall, with the disabilities that was stated by my opponent, these students are getting the special needs that are needed for them, and are getting the same treatment during these tests that they would if they were getting or taking another test in their high school curriculum classes. Thank you.